We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Okay, so we're waiting for people to get in the room, chat with us, talk to us a little bit. Um, Trying to make it not look so obvious when I'm looking up, but it's not too much I can do about it. I don't think. Bring this up a little bit, up a little bit, just up a little bit. See if that helps any. Nope, still looks up. When I'm looking up, I'm looking up. There's no way around it. That camera's all the way up there. Who's
It
popping in?
says one guest request. I don't know him. His name is Mello.
Oh, Mello? Okay. He wants to come in and talk, or he just wants to come in the room?
He just looks like he doesn't want to come up and talk.
Okay. Mello, let us get situated in here. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to my live. It's the first time I think you ever popped in on my live. So just so people know, um, I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on TikTok. But if you want to get in and talk to us, you're gonna have to get in on TikTok. But you can remove the side right now,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
As we get in, um, I'm going to talk about tonight. Who in the room so far? Just you and my brother Mello?
Yes.
I want to. Well, you can leave it up. You can leave the side for now. I want to talk about the process and the strategies that I took to build business and some of the things I'm learning now going toward this next level. I've dealt with everything from franchise to whatever, but I've always learned the best investment is invest in yourself. Right now, we've just trademarked You Ready, Let's Grow. We got the whole book series about to come out, marketing in place. But then we have Live Unique, which we have our own oil, hair growth oil, which my wife has. So interesting saying my wife. We've only been married a couple of weeks, but it feels good. It's different. Um, we have done like 2,000 bottles without distribution and just you know foot to ground, right? And so developing a business, every step I take and every step we take, I come to a couple of realities. One reality is this: no matter how far you grow, you can go through the syndrome of feeling and what's called imposter syndrome, of feeling like you're not enough because there's somebody who did way more than you, way younger than you, or way faster than you, and so now these whole realities are always there. So, you know, somebody said on our last live, my only competition is myself, and I asked them, um, so you competing with yourself? He said yes, and I said, what are you competing with yourself for? To be better than I was. So basically, you going against somebody who is less than who you are now to be better. If you're better than you were before, and you going after and you competing with yourself, that means you're going at somebody who is below you to get better. That that sounds cute in conversation, but in reality, it's really not giving you the opportunity to become better or to become bigger or to become stronger. Because one of my sayings is, if you're your own teacher, then you're learning the same lessons over and over again. I don't believe in ever taking the attitude that there's no competition. Yes, there is. When you go to investors to borrow money, they will remind you quickly that there's competition because they will ask you. And I've sat in pitch meetings to raise, $500,000, $1 million, and They've asked me. Thank you for the congratulations, Mel. I appreciate it. They asked me, so who's your competition? And if you say in a pitch meeting in front of a board of directors or people who's talking about putting money behind you, if you sit in that meeting and say, I have no competition, you know what they're going to say to you? Bye, get out. Because what you just said to them is you've done no market research and you don't know what your market is and who your competition is. You need to know who your competition is and you need to know who you're coming against. You have to know this. This is important. You can't be successful without knowing the landscape. There's two things I tell people all the time you got to know. One, your competition. Two, your numbers. Now, don't be afraid of your competition. That's important. Don't be intimidated by your competition. But sitting there saying, I have no competition, that just sounds like ignorance. That doesn't sound like you've done any research or you understand what real business is about. Because the moment you become big at everything or anything, everybody else is going to come jump on it. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Let me see who we got in the room right now. I'm going to stop and say hi to people. I don't like to get going. So, Mello, my brother's here. Good to see you. My wife Nellie's here. See, dynamic trio. My daughter. Hey, baby girl, how you doing? Devon in the house. Mr. and Mrs. Shepherd both here. Pleasure to have you. Invite people. Get them in the room. We're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about 300 million at 21. It's 21-year-old young girl to me. I got a grandchild that age who's had built with two of her friends or partners $300 million company. And just the mindset, and it's things that I've said after I, crossed, into business and, and in real estate reached 7-figure mark. I came to the realization that, yeah, I've done a lot of hard work, unnecessary hard work, thinking that my hard work was the key to my success, only to find out knowing where to go and when is the key to success. Nelly, how's my audio on YouTube? If you have an opportunity to check it, I want to make sure that people on YouTube are getting the same.
Yeah, it's good. It's clear.
Clear, excellent. So good. So we figured out today how to set the two phones up so we can get on both. So you guys know that I always teach success is not how much you got in the bank. You can have all that and be dying. I know you're not supposed to say on TikTok, but unaliving slowly. Not be healthy. Steve Jobs had all the success in the world, and his health was, declining rapidly, and there's nothing the wealth can do about that. There's spiritual wealth. There's personal wealth. I would put spiritual wealth at the top, and then your personal wealth, which is fed from your spiritual wealth out of the abundance of the heart. The mouth begins to speak, and you begin to speak life, and life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who indulge it shall eat the fruit thereof. My base and my stand is biblical. It always will be, not to the point of being obnoxious. Hey, Sophie, welcome. Not to the point of being obnoxious. Don't forget to grab your daily heart, your heart me. Yeah, my daughter loves to remind me, the heart me right up there. Click the heart me, and grab that. It boosts, it pushes us out, but it also builds your network up. The algorithm recognizes both as one of those things that TikTok created and they love. So grab it. And those who are watching me on YouTube, if you really want to jump in and have a conversation with us, we're going to open the floor in a minute, and we're going to let people talk. We're going to have a real conversation about the process of building success or wealth and what that really is. What does it encompass? It's not just money in the bank. I remember having good money in the bank and being in a very deep depression because I was going through things in life in which I felt unfulfilled. I think Amanda just came in the room. Did Amanda come in? If she did, say hi to Amanda. You're going to love this conversation tonight.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk about wealth. We're going to talk about success, but we're going to talk about it the way I always do, from the perspective of holistically, right? What is holistic success? I've made some very bad mistakes in life, and lived beneath the poverty line for a long time, but I figured some things out. And of course, in my generation, we didn't have all the YouTubes and the TikToks and all the stuff that people have now, but now millionaires are being made every day. So this young lady at 21 years old has built a $300 million company with her friends. And just the approach she took to it is the approach I eventually learned as things went along. So I haven't yet, but I saw my friend do it, and he said he's going to teach me how, literally on TikTok, you can put a video above your head and let the video play while you're live, but you have to log in through TikTok Studio. So I have to really kind of master that. But also in YouTube, you can do a lot of this stuff, but then you have to have this third party app, and I like being able to have everybody come in and have a conversation and talk. So I'm gonna play this video first. I'm just gonna have to play it on my iPad, and then we're gonna talk about her point of view, her perspective, and how she did it. I mean, her mindset and how she did it.
Who's the most cracked person here?
Gotta be her.
Why?
She went to MIT.
You went to MIT?
I dropped out.
You dropped out of MIT?
I did.
Why?
To co-found a startup.
A startup?
Yes.
What's it called?
Delve.
Delve.
You heard of it?
I've been knowing you guys. Like, I've seen you guys on the New York Times, right?
Yeah, that's us.
You guys went to like 200 million, right?
300 million.
Nah, you're crazy. So you went to MIT and you made a startup.
Dropped out, built the startup, now we're here.
So what is the one skill that separates a good founder from a great founder?
Pretend you're a time traveler.
What do you mean by that? You're the Mandela effect?
Pretend you're 5, 10, 50 years into the future. You're successful. You've made it in life. Looking backward, how would you act now?
That's
Knowing that
fair.
you're going to be Steve Jobs, how would you approach your day-to-day differently?
You gotta think generationally.
Got to.
So what's the worst piece of advice you ever received then?
Sheer grit and hard work won't take you there.
What will?
If your ladder is against the wrong tree, you're not going to end up at the right destination.
Wait, back up. What does that mean?
Life is like climbing up
You hear that,
trees.
Nelly?
And if you
Yeah.
put your ladder against the wrong tree, you might climb up, spend all these years doing hard work just to reach the top of the tree and then realize there was a taller tree. And so to really reach your global maximum in life, you got to first make sure your ladder's on the right tree because just working hard doesn't guarantee anything.
So give me a time when you worked hard for something and it didn't pan out that you wanted it to.
Actually, before building a startup, I was deep in research. I had 8 publications by the time I was 20 years old. I have an experiment on the International Space Station.
On the space station? Like the ISS?
ISS.
You were talking about astronauts.
I was talking with astronauts in high school, yeah.
In high school?
Yeah.
Last question to you.
Yes.
If you were to die tomorrow, what would be the one piece of advice you want to leave the world with?
Do the opposite of what everyone is doing just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake of it.
Just-
No other reason.
Literally.
Well, why?
When I had to pick a language to study, everyone took Spanish, so I took Chinese just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake
Just
of it.
because you want to be different.
It means challenge. It means having to learn things that you're bad at and coming in with zero experience. And as you figure everything out, eventually trust that things will click. Use the time traveler mindset, and you'll find yourself.
Time traveler mindset. Who's the most cracked person here?
Gotta be her.
Why?
Okay, so let's talk about this now. Who liked that? Who liked that? Put I like that in the comments. Who liked that? This girl, she dropped some jewels. I mean, some serious jewels. I'm going to go to the time traveler effect, but I want to talk about the main thing she said that I always say. I have to say that to my now wife all the time. I know so many people, they work so hard. A couple of my business partners, I'm a partner in a few businesses, and a couple of my business partners, I mean, nobody, they work so hard, and they will tell me, oh no, you got to work hard for it. And I'm like, then why is my bank account like X times yours? If hard work is the key to success, then why am I more successful? They'll usually say, because you're older, okay, and you're smarter. How? Now, you guys got to understand something. I say this humbly. I haven't worked for anybody for 30 years. I live a pretty decent life. So, hard work, Nellie's my wife now, so she understands now. Me and her was talking today, like, Nellie, we're still sitting up in the bed having a conversation about goals and dreams and what we're going to do today at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's something you don't know. She, as a hairdresser, would go in the salon at 8 in the morning and be in there to midnight. But there was a wealth she was missing. Quality of life was missing. Peace of mind, happiness. She said to me in the beginning, and I've shared this conversation with you guys many times, I'm an entrepreneur. And I said, no, you're not. You're self-employed. You work for yourself. You're not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur doesn't have to show up every day to see process, to see progress, and to see success. They build something, they build a network of something, and as a result of what they built, that thing keeps itself, but also an entrepreneur provides the means for other people to take care of their families. That's the real definition of an entrepreneur. Not only are you successful, but you provide a role to success for other people. And that's the key. Now, I'm not no Bill Gates, nowhere near that kind of stuff, but I have goals, I have dreams. And so, I want to talk about that. Um, and I'm gonna start to open up the floors now. Your tree, I mean your vision or your dream pressed up against the wrong tree. You climbing, boy. You are climbing your behind off. But your ladder's against the wrong tree. This young lady at 21 years old had something figured out when she was a kid. Somebody put some understanding in her that's a little bit different than most people's. So come on in and let's start to kick the ball around a little bit. And let's talk about it. Because you guys are going to have some questions for me, and I'm going to answer those questions as always. But my hope and my plan is at the end of this conversation, you walk away one step further towards your goals and your dreams than you were before you got on this conversation. And that's the key. People do seminars and charge tons of money. And I've been to seminars where I paid 20 grand and 10 grand to sit in a seminar. And I get up here and I give the stuff for free. I think if I charge that money, people would treat it, with more respect, because people think because it's free, it's not valuable information. But I'm still learning. I'm still going to seminars. I'm still sitting down. I'm still taking in information. And eventually, we will, develop a program. Like I said, we got a whole book series coming out. You ready? Let's grow. I'm real excited about that. I've been sitting down by myself, designing my own book covers, and stuff. I mean, I've hired people to do it, but the graphics background in me, the get it done thing in me says, listen, I got to get stuff done on my own if I have to. So come on in and get on in and let's talk about it. Read me some of the comments, babe.
Okay, so you want me to bring in
Whoever wants to come in.
Okay, so let me bring him up here. And everyone is just saying 10 to 20 Devon, 10 to 20K a seminar. A seminar? Why so much?
Because certain people try to go to Tony Robbins and see what you pay. I mean, I did a real estate seminar. It was a class with it. It wasn't just a seminar. It was a 1-year program of training. Yeah, but they showed me how to close a $780,000 deal. So in the end, I got enough information. But yeah, some of them ridiculous like that. But yeah, we try to go to Tony Robbins weekend. You paying $5 grand, and that's not even like the executive tier. So some of these people, it is what it is. Get on here or just talk to me in the comments about the ladder up on the wrong tree. Working hard, climbing, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, doing all the stuff you know to do, only to find out, dag, my ladder was up against the wrong tree.
And we have somebody named Dread.
Dread, respect. Thank you, Dread. Appreciate you, brother. And don't forget to tap that screen. Do the hot knees up top. Those hot knees, I like those better. TikTok likes those better than just the taps. And it also pushes you up in the algorithm. But get in here and talk to me. Ask me some questions. But and until you do, I'm going to keep talking. So this young lady said she started in MIT and she quit school. Well, we can see from just our conversation and what she was doing, she had an exceptional mind. Well, she's not like me. I'm not like her. I'm not working on a space station or a space shuttle as a teenager. Okay, fine. But everybody's great at something. Everybody has a gift to do something. And most people feel like failures because they spend their time trying to be something they're not or do something that they're not gifted to do, or the family told you is what you're supposed to do. And, it's the worst thing in the world. This is a young lady, African. Put your mute on for now, Andre. Put his mute on. And welcome. And she was raised in a family, everybody was doctors. And they was really, really hard on her to be a doctor. She wanted to be a dancer. That didn't go over well. And she said she felt like she had to almost disrespect or disregard her family because the culture is steep in you're supposed to be a doctor. So she didn't get support, of course, but she pursued it. She pursued dance. She pursued it with all her heart. She wound up doing choreography for Rihanna. Eventually, I mean, I don't like to take the stories and say she was here and then she was there because there's that long road of struggle and pain and rejection. When I say struggle and pain, I'm not talking about, devastating, taking you out type stuff, but sometimes emotionally it feels like that. Come on and talk to me, Dred. What's on your heart? And be respectful. When other people get up here, we're going to be respectful. We're not going to disrespect. No foul language. It's not allowed. Come on in. What you got?
Yeah, man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Yeah, man. So I just scroll and see a name, Vision Builders. Yeah, and kind of resonate with my outlook. I'm gonna really send it Vision Builders, but my thing is nation building.
I love that.
Yeah, and the inspiration comes from just my journey, and from 2015, my state, and it really goes towards encouraging persons to do the best that you can do, live in a manner
Yes, sir.
that is true, and it highlights the time we're in, whereby especially for persons of African descent, and this outlook that the system and a negative connotation to what we do.
What's your nation of origin? You said African descent.
What's my nation of?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here in Jamaica, but just realize we're a black man.
Right. No, because my wife is
Yeah.
African descent. She's her family is Liberian. So yeah, I totally get it.
Okay.
So let me tell you why I went with Vision Builders.
Caribbean.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought so. When
Yeah.
you said African, I was like, he sounds Jamaican. But Vision Builders, I'm gonna tell you why I lean toward Vision Builders. Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. Well, I don't want to perish.
And I agree.
I don't want to perish. I didn't want to perish anymore. I was perishing most of my life. I got a very young look, but I'm 67 years old. So I've been around the block quite a few times.
Yeah.
And had to figure a lot of things out and made a lot of mistakes. And again, in my generation, there wasn't that help available. And I'm coming out. I was born and still lived through some of the civil rights movement, if you can believe that, right? I was alive when JFK was taken out, when Martin Luther King was taken out. I was alive. I was a kid, but I was alive, and I heard the stuff and I saw the struggles, and of course I experienced some of it. And one of the things I realized is we don't help each other. We're always waiting for somebody to come and rescue us. A lot of times people of color, but we don't help each other. And so for me, I said, once I get in a position to be a blessing, I want to help people. I want to show people. So of course I have mentees and people I've worked with for years. But after this became big, my wife said, you need to get on here and you need to offer this to people that's going to look for this opportunity from the outside. So here we are. So I love the fact you want to build nations. That's all exactly what you described is what we're about. Like, how do we help other people become the best they can be and give people opportunities? And a lot of times it's not money. I believe in the beginning, I started just giving people money and all they did, it just messed them up worse. The key is to give people insight, teach a man to fish, right? And again,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I love your approach to things. Stay with us. I want to stay in the conversation. Devon, jump in here, man. Tell me what's on your brain.
Hey,
What
so
up?
one of the things that is fine. Well, first and foremost, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you for asking.
Anytime. One of the things that I was thinking, when I was younger, I used to have people tell me what to do, like teenage wise, like on what type of career to choose and what type of pursuits I should have. Because I thought I didn't have any ambition, but I found my drive when I was a kid. And one of my drives was in the fields of entertainment.
Hmm.
I was just drawn to it, you know, like on the artistry aspects from acting, from the artistry aspects of just theater knowledge, you know, to being a theater technician, and that's what I am today.
Yes, sir.
And I have multiple roles that I've obtained in my almost 20 plus years expansion on it, you know. So I'm gonna get to the point. Sorry.
Go for it.
In my family, we have a lot of people in the healthcare industry. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was a registered nurse, and my mom, she also works in the health industries, and it was just given to me to become a physical. I was told you should become a physical therapist, and I'm like, you know, that's not the road that I want to choose. Like,
Reach out to
I'm
Mello,
not a
see if you
physical
can get him back
therapist.
in.
And one of the things that I realized more and more is I was drawn to entertainment.
Hmm.
If someone was to tell me 7 months after graduating college that I would be working with Courtney Love, I would have been like, you're out of your mind.
Hmm.
Or 4 years after graduating college, you'll be working, well, Adam Sandler's going to come see your show, and you're going to keep working up with big names and people that they
Go ahead and drop them names, brother.
Yeah, I got a long list. The list is big and the chicken is good, if you know what I'm saying. So, like, the people, like, I'm literally working with people that my friends wish they had a single picture with, or concerts that they could go see. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and it's
sir.
a dream come true.
God bless you, little
And
brother.
just to thank you, I deeply appreciate it. And even when people talk to me, telling me, "Oh, that's not a good idea. It's not stable," I'm weathering storms and I'm making them into a beautiful sky. What can I say? Like baby blue.
I love it. Amanda, I would like you to jump in here because you definitely invite Amanda in because you definitely have gone through some things. Mute yourself down. No, you got to mute down whoever's not talking. And if you're coming up to talk, then you can unmute for sure. But stay muted while other people are talking. But just that process of you saying, Devon, that your family had an expectation of you. Obviously, they wanted you to go into healthcare. You had a different dream, and as a result of that, you got to work with these people. Let me ask you a question. And you know me. You know I know a lot of celebrity names. Got to meet a lot of people. I don't usually drop them because I'm gotten older, so I don't really care. And I've seen so many of them who here go there. When you were around them as people and you seeing them pursuing or seeing them in this place where you feel that their names are worthy to be mentioned, have you noticed some time when you're around these people that you're there seeing them there and excited, but you look at them and look in their eyes and they don't look like they're there at all? Because that's an experience.
Yes.
Go ahead, talk a little bit about it.
Woo! So I got this one job that I did, and I felt I was sick on the job, but the money was so damn good. So I did Yeezy season 5,
Okay.
and the gig was pretty big. It was New York Fashion Week. This was in 2017. I see all of these celebrities.
Don't name names.
Paris
Just
Hilton.
no. You don't have to name them.
Oh, don't name names.
You have to name them.
Okay. So I see all of these celebrities, and the people kept looking over my shoulder. I'm like, what is everybody looking at? Do I got something on my face? Comes to find out that person was Kanye West. And the look on Kanye West's face, he looks so lost and confused.
I asked you not to say names, but okay, you already said.
I mean, yeah, but
Right.
it's Yeezy season 5. If you're saying Yeezy, most people would know who the artist is, you know?
But you saying he's there, everybody's looking at him like he's floating into the room, but you're looking at him, he doesn't look happy.
Yeah, he looked a little lost and unhappy, and I'm like, given the circumstances that everything's gone through, I get it.
But still,
I totally understand.
But you're proving my point, right? When people sometimes see, we look at them as successful, and they're looking at life like they don't know where they are. They haven't even arrived. So what is the key? What is the takeaway from that? She said she'll get joined shortly. Okay, sure, man. We're glad to have you. So what is the key, right? What is the key? Because here's something I'll tell you, and I want you to take this with you. If you're unhappy and unfulfilled now, getting wealth and the quote-unquote success you're reaching for won't change anything. Matter of fact, sometimes it makes it more discouraging because you believed when you had nothing that when you get something, you'll feel better and life will be better and people will respect you better and people will love you better. And you know what you find out? The people who want to put you down before will still put you down even though you're successful. They still say these stuff like, "Oh yeah, I remember when you didn't have nothing," and they'll still try to keep you in the pocket that they know you in. So if you're looking for them to turn around and say, "Wow, congratulations, we're proud of you," you most likely gonna be very disappointed. So if you don't have a peace within yourself, no matter how successful, I did it, and then I went to a phase where I started trying to, give everybody money to get their house and get yeah. It didn't change them. It made things worse. And then it made me feel worse because I felt like, wow, I just knew they would love me once I, made myself available to them. And it did not. It literally made them despise me more because they were jealous. Of course, they're going to take my stuff, but they didn't love me more. They didn't treat me better. And this is big. So when I talk to people, and by the way, baby, people, please tap, give us some taps, get them taps in there. Well, where we at? 12,000, that's low for us, y'all. That's low. Come on, we usually like 50, 80,000. Get them taps in there. We need them taps. And those hot me's up there, get them hot me's. Get them hot me's, get them taps in there. Get some comments going in here. Get that algorithm moving for us, all right? It's important. I don't like to jump in and beg for stuff, but it is what it is, right? This is how you paying me. You're not paying me for my time. You're paying me with taps and hot me's and little gifts and trinkets. Just get up in there and move that needle a little bit. So I watched people get successful. Mike Tyson talks about it all the time. I heard a Hammer talk about it. You get there, and then you think you can buy everybody's love, and all you do is you buy a bunch of people that are codependent with you, and they only with you for as long as you can make them feel good. And the moment that you can't or don't, they're done. They're finished with you. So that's why I asked that question when you start saying names. So like I said, I like to speak about wealth and success from a holistic point of view. Money is not the cure. It's really not. It to me, financial wealth exacerbates where you presently are. People said to me, back in the day, well, when you get successful, is it going to change you? I said, well, it doesn't change you. It gives license to who you are. So if you're into drugs and you're into, womanizing and all that stuff, you get money, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go all out with it. I don't mean to pick on somebody when they're in a situation, but let's talk about the whole Diddy thing. How much smacks, how much rugs, and how much Literally, okay? You went from nothing to there and still trying to find happiness through all kind of other things, which says to me, you're not happy. You're not fulfilled. You as the young lady said, you got your ladder on a tree and you got to the top of the tree only to find that there's a taller tree. So now you're going to keep going and keep going and keep going and then trying to fill your life with numbing things to numb you, pain numbing things. It at the end of the day, you can't take none of it with you. And the people that you gain because of it, you lose them because of it. It's the same thing. So when I heard everybody saying, yeah, nobody is coming to the prison to see him, or nobody wants to step up for him. No, of course not. They don't want that fire. So yeah, anybody else got something else to say, or any of you guys that's up here? And because I can talk. But I like to make sure I keep the floor open for other comments and other opinions and other perspectives on here. So talk to me. And again, keep them taps coming. So if not, I'll go back to her to the video. So it's a couple of points she made. Hard work, she said, is not the key. Smart work. And we had that conversation last week. What does that even mean? She explained it or described it as doing what everybody else is not willing to do, or doing something different from what everybody else is doing, going against the grain. Okay. That's a challenge I want to touch right now. Because if you need to be liked and if you need to be loved and you want to be accepted, going against the grain is unpopular and it makes people reject you. And a lot of people do not want to be rejected. And one of the keys I find that people who are usually very successful are people, even though they still hate rejection, they use it as a fuel, or they get to the place where it no longer is a problem. They work in spite of it. People who use it as a fuel usually wind up burning out because they keep figuring that eventually you'll hit some place. And when you don't have anything, you can tell yourself that once I get wealthy, everything will be okay. But then once you get wealthy and everything's not okay, now what do? Tell yourself, well, if I can only be poor again? Absolutely not. So that's where you find that the unaliving, self-unaliving rate is higher amongst people that are successful and wealthy because they don't think there's nowhere else to go once they achieved everything they thought they could and should achieve. So I'm gonna go back to this video a little bit, but let's talk about a couple of the points. Well, for those of you who probably weren't there from the beginning, I'll play it again. 21 years old. A $300 million company. Doesn't get much better.
You went to MIT. You went to MIT?
I dropped out.
You dropped out of MIT?
I did.
Why?
To co-found a startup.
A startup?
Yes.
What's it called?
Delve.
Delve.
You heard of it?
I've been knowing you guys. Like, I've seen you guys on the New York Times, right?
Yeah, that's us.
You guys went to like 200 million, right? Nah, you're crazy. So you went to MIT and you made a startup.
Dropped out, built a startup, now we're here.
So what is the one skill that separates a good founder from a great founder?
Pretend you're a time traveler.
What do you mean by that? You the Mandela effect?
Pretend you're 5, 10, 50 years into the future. You're successful. You've made it in life. Looking backward, how would you act now?
That's
Knowing that
great.
you're going to be Steve Jobs, how would you approach your day-to-day differently?
You gotta think generationally.
Got to.
Okay, so let's stop that right there. So the first key is,
You gotta think generationally.
Got to.
so let's stop that right there. Okay, so now she talked about something deep, and I'm trying to apply this at this season of my life, which is really weird because of my age. She's 25 years, 50 years into the future. Well, good for you. You're 21 years old. I don't know if I got 50 years, okay? So I guess I can look 10 years into the future, 5 years in the future. If you were, she said, already that person, what would you be doing now? If you looked at yourself as the person you see yourself to be in the future, how would you be behaving? This is a real conversation. Let's get ready for this. If you saw yourself today as what you perceive yourself to be in the future, what would you be doing different? I want to really bring this home. Would you have the same friends? Would you have the same conversation? Would you listen to or occupy your time doing things that you're doing now? Would you have the arguments or the discussions or the sit downs with certain people that you are doing it right now? Would you be looking at anything that's in your life right now and jumping around and dancing and celebrating? And I think you should celebrate your moments, but I don't think you should be becoming fixed on moments because they're just moments. So here's the question. What are you doing now that you wouldn't be doing if what you believe you are supposed to be had manifested today, if that was the case? I'm opening the floor to that. In the comments, in the chat, jump in here with us. What would you be doing right now, or what would you not be doing right now if you were the person that you're dreaming to be? What would you be doing? What would you be doing? And if you're in here, you have to comment or get in the chat or comment or say something. You can't just sit here. Not rush, have more patience. Okay. Okay. I like that. She said catering. Okay. Need more. Because what she is saying, that what you need to be doing is you need to be acting now the way you would be acting then. That's what she was saying. I don't think the message came across. She was saying, how would you be acting? And she's saying you should be acting now as if you're already there. Your behavior, your mindset, the way you look at things should be like that. In other words, you know, the young folks call it manifesting. Calling those things being out of the world, but living in faith, living as if you've already achieved that. What would you be doing different? How would you be handling things different? What would you be wasting time on? Let me see you say. I would be careful to make sure my ladder is on the right tree. Come on, babe. That's not answering no question. That's good, but like what? Specifically, what would you be not do? Okay, let me make it easier. What are you doing right now that you would just absolutely not be doing if you were there? What would you not be doing right now? Let's just start with that. Let's take it one step at a time. If you woke up tomorrow and you were where you dreamed you were supposed to be, what would you not be doing right now? That's the question I'm asking. Let me see some of my comments here.
Lindsay said, I would not be working anymore. I'll be traveling the world, speaking and selling services, but not on the computer.
Okay, so let's stick a pin in that one. Can we pin that one to the top? I want to stick that one to the top, what Lindsay just said. I want to pin that.
That's my dream, to get free from the computer and overall work.
Okay, pin that.
Okay. Let's see.
What else we got?
I will be self-employed. Is Devon, I'll be self-employed.
Mhm.
Salima said I will be promoting myself as one, and I would not be doing it all the time for free.
Okay, I like that one too. Can't pin more than one thing, but let's pin that too. Let's go ahead. What else we got? I saw Devon had a little sentence there. The same friends, question mark, not sure about some friends. Okay, same friends. I would have friends, but they would elevate, not only be me. I know what you mean. They would be going forward and elevating. It wouldn't just be you doing it, it would be them. They would be elevating and motivating you too. You wouldn't only be the one. You won't be just giving, you'll be giving and receiving. Okay? Let's talk about that. Let's go back to Lindsay's. Read it again. I'll be traveling the world.
She said, I'll be traveling the world, speaking and selling services, but not on the computer, and I would not be working anymore.
Okay. So what she's saying is, what can you start doing now that's like that? Pretty much she's saying, why aren't you doing that right now? And I know your mind is saying, well, because I don't have the money yet. Well, that's not the right answer. That's the wrong answer. She's saying, if this is what you would be doing, then be doing it now. So how do you start traveling the world now? How do you start going around and sharing what you have and not being on the computer now? What steps do you take to make that a reality? What steps are you taking to make that a reality? Let's start walking that out one step at a time. How do you make that a reality? Salima said something about the pen. What she said?
I'm not able to pin anymore. Yeah, something is going different with this, the TikTok, and like some things are different here.
Yeah, they've taken some
things away, right?
Yeah, there's just some stupid stuff they're doing with the algorithm.
Yeah, because even with me trying to change the grip where I used to go, it's not there anymore. A few things are a little different. I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah, it's not even letting me pin.
That's kind of
because that's the selected thing. It's supposed to allow me to pin. It says translate, copy to send.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Change some stuff.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll work with what we got.
Okay.
Okay. What was Salima's? Salima said something.
Salima said, I would be promoting myself as one, and I would not be doing it all the time for free.
Okay. So her point is, and her question is, why aren't you doing that now? If that's what you would be doing. This is what it said to me. And this is what I've said to start. And I've been sitting down today going, well, Dad, what should I be doing now that I would be doing then? You know, I've gone through a drastic change in life, and I've changed a lot of things. But what do I need to change? Well, I know I got this book series coming out. I know we already set up for the trademark. What do I need to be doing different than what would I be doing then? And I'm asking myself the same question. So I'm going to feed your answers. I'm just going to keep going with it. Okay, so how do you begin that process then? First of all, stop doing it for everybody for free. Start charging now. You walked around with Nelly in the mall and you saw Nelly deal with the rejection and all of that. Here's the part you didn't see. She had never been on the street walking around selling bottles. So for her first couple of no's hit her hard. And I was with her in the mall. I watched. She walked up to people and they walked past her. And I remember she had to go to Caucasian people. she didn't feel comfortable with them. She never had those as customers, and she was like, I don't know what to do. I walked up to her and she looked at me so like I had two heads on, and she was like, nope, that's it, sticking with my own color. And then we went to this farmer's market in the area where it's dominantly, and she now had to go to them Asians, white, Hispanic, not too many people of color. She did it. Now she'll just walk up to people. So what you saw when you walked around with her was a person who started doing what she saw herself doing, even if it was against her will. And to now she'll walk up to anybody and talk to anybody. She don't care who you are, what color you are. And you can see the rejection that she gets when she does get it. And you can see how she reacts to it with ease, because it's kind of like, nah. So you're just not the one. I'll go get the next one.
So, Talima said, I found a website for small businesses. They help you start up. Made my first cooking video today.
So you're doing it. So keep that in mind. The key to what she's saying is find out what you would be doing then, start doing it now. Step by step, piece by piece. Find out. Hey Esther, how you doing? What's going on, Tane? Welcome. We watched a short video of a young lady who's built a $300 million company at 21 years old. And she made a couple of points. And one of her points was she doesn't believe, what's something that she's heard that she feels is crap. And she said she feels that, work hard till you get there is crap. She said, because you throw your ladder up against a tree and you climb to the top of it only to find out there's a taller tree. Like, so, pursue that thing which makes you feel good, and also pursue that with the understanding that there's something else always bigger and greater than what you're pursuing, right? And it's not hard work, it's opportunity situation. The other thing she said was, which is what we're talking about right now, is she said, when he asked her what's one of her keys to success, she said, picture yourself 20 years, 50 years into the future, where you see yourself, and what you see yourself doing. And she said, and then begin to do that right now. Begin to act now the way you would act if you were where you want to be. It's really powerful for a 21-year-old. She's got the wisdom of the ages, but she said, put your mind in the future. So I was asking people to come on or put it in the chat. What would you be doing different right now? And if you were where you want to be. First of all, I just want to stop and thank everybody for getting involved and being in the chat and putting your comments in there. We got some work to do though on the lights and the hot me's up at top. Oh, I just kicked the thing. Sorry, camera. Didn't mean to kick you. Try to take these slippers off my feet.
Don't forget to say hi to the people on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the people.
Let them know that you're streaming on TikTok as well.
We have somebody in the room. Looks like. Let me see.
Well, that's me.
That's you. Okay. Well.
Somebody came
Well, hi, Naomi. So hi to the people on YouTube. Absolutely, don't mean to forget about you. But we're here, and we're streaming on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok right now. I just got two phones sitting in the same stand, and we're talking about it. If you pop in on YouTube and you want to join the live and be a part of the conversation, run on over to TikTok and jump in. But yeah, get me some more conversations. And Brother Dredd, was there anything else you wanted to add? You're welcome to stay up there. We appreciate you. But is there anything you heard that you want to speak on, comment, and any of you? Anything you heard you want to speak on, you want to comment?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Good morning. Sorry, I had another call, so I was tuned out a bit, but yeah. So what I want to highlight is that, and I just encourage you to continue, and other listeners on the lives and those in the chat. You know, we're in a time when, you know, we recognize that our forefathers didn't benefit from the information that we have access to
Yes.
by just even not even by just writing anymore. Because here in my island, I encourage persons. We're in the time now, just as the Bible told, just as in the Bible when the command was given to speak to the rock.
Hmm.
You can speak to your phone. You can speak to AI. You can speak to Google. You can speak to YouTube. Even if you don't know how to type, the function is there for you to press the mic and say how to start a business without money, how to schedule my time, how to money manage, how to whatever it is that you want to do. So the possibility for creating an unseen wealth is now greater more than any time ever. But at the same time, there's a great distraction in which you see a lot of persons on live, and I'm amazed. I'm like, because here in Ireland, we're classified as a developing country. And I'm like, development has to be a concept that trends, you know? And no, and there's nothing wrong with the industries such as entertainment and sports. But beyond entertainment and sports, substance we recognize in the global scheme of things. Where are we at the table? Where are we in terms of developing apps for ourselves, in developing industries that we can sell? It cannot just be the first world countries who have benefited over 400 years from our free labor. Or can't be just China, who has had a very long history of developing themselves and knowing the process in which they have an identity for themselves. In this day and age, we have to create our identity, and the identity cannot consistently be in that of competition or that of revolution or fight. These other races aren't succeeding like that.
Yeah.
We constantly cast ourselves in struggle and in fighting, and you know, if it's not
and foolishness and foolishness,
a part of the struggle. Yeah, but with the power of words, I like to encourage, or I like to say, we welcome the age of peace. We welcome the age in which we can agree to see the validity within ourselves.
I like it.
We must can't now change the narrative in which we constantly have this negative filter to say, well, then, yeah, majority persons are caught in that loop, you know, to not see how they can vision 5 years time. What can I be?
So
listen to the millionaires and the billionaires share their story. When I hear the story of even Colonel Sanders at KFC, after retirement, that man found his purpose.
Absolutely. It's at 61, yeah. So listen. Let me add to what you're saying, and let's bring this all together. Mute yourself because you got some background noise. So here's what we got, and thank you for that. That was beautiful. Appreciate that. So we have, he said, a world of distractions, a lot of noise, a lot of foolishness, a lot of negativity said, but a lot of just foolish entertainment. Just we want to be entertained more than we want to be motivated. There's a generation that's been pretty much taught to rebel more so than grow. But then you got those few that's like, I'm here to be corrected and to grow. But here's also the key, and where I'll land his plane. Now let's take the focus off of that. That's the negativity. He brought that, he talked it. But now that's the positivity. There are the people like you that are on here that don't want that foolishness. And I don't ever like to end the conversation on the negative. And on the positive, there's people here that they want this opportunity. They want these dreams. I know my granddaughter put that hat up on my head. They want this dream. Thank you for the gift. They want this dream. They want to be successful. They just have not been given the opportunity. So they default to the foolishness because the foolishness is all they know. And this is what Vision Builders is here for. You ready? Let's grow. We here to say, okay, well, if you're ready, then let's take the next steps. What are the steps out of that mess? There was somebody said something a long time ago. They were saying say no to rugs, and somebody said say no to rugs and say yes to what? You got to give them a yes when you give them a no. When you tell them what not to do, then we got to give them, and we are responsible, especially as the older generation, to say, but here's what you can do. And that's where Vision Builder was formed, to say, okay, you can be successful. There are people out there that are being successful. Whether you found it young or older, doesn't matter. You now have the opportunity to take a ground that you didn't once have. And as he said, as Dredge said, the opportunities are here. You got abilities, you have programs, you have stuff on computer that you can go in and ask questions. I remember when I learned electrical skills and I learned how to do plumbing and stuff. Back in the day, around the 2000, around early 2000, or like the late 99, 98, 99, 2000. I don't know if you noticed, but Home Depot had a class that they did on Saturdays. And you could go in there and they would say, well, this Saturday we're working on how to hook up an electrical outlet, or we're showing you how to do it. And I would go to those classes and ask questions. And I started buying and rehabbing houses. So my point is, information is there. The question was, Mandela effect, if you can throw yourself into the future and see the future, what change would you make? Okay. And I forgot what the last thing she said was. Oh yeah, do something different just because, right? Yeah. Go against the grain just because. My granddaughter Ari is on, and I'm gonna tell you, Ari, if I've never said this to you to your face, what I love about you, is she 13 now, Lima? She's always been her own individual. Always. I've never seen her try to bend to peer pressure, keep up with this one and that one, try to win the love and approval of all the friends, no matter what it takes. You may not know this, little young lady, but that is a powerful gift that a lot of grown-ups don't have. And I've always seen that in you. I've always seen you to be your own avenger. And to me, that as an adult is not too late for us to grab that. We have to have our own identity of who we are. I'm gonna tell a story. You're gonna laugh at this. She was a little girl in school, just really starting school, and she had a lot of opinion and point of view. She always very strong with opinion and point of view. I don't know if she remembers this, but my daughter does because she told me the story. And the teacher told her she had to stop disagreeing with her because she was in charge and she had the final say. And her, at the age of, I think she was 4, said to the teacher, well, that's fine. I'll listen to you and respect you because you're an adult, but I need you to understand that I do have an opinion and it matters. And I love that story. I share that story a lot with people. Just that sense of who she was. And this is what a lot of us as adults still don't have. That sense of this is who I am, and I hear you and I respect you. But I want to let you know I do have an opinion, and my opinion may differ from yours. It may differ from yours. It may not line up exactly with you, but hey, it is what it is, and I have it to say. I spent a lot of my life coming from where I came from, and some of you have too, trying to help or hope that everybody else could accept your opinion or your point of view or agree with you. But the most successful people go against the grain. The most successful people go where everybody else is not going. And there's an inner peace. And I'm not talking about rebelliously. I'm not talking about angrily. I'm not talking about bitterly. I'm talking about just a sense of, I have a different place in this planet and it may not be yours, and that's okay. And I'm not going to stop you from being you, but you doggone sure not going to stop me from being me. Again, Devon shared the story, and Devon, I've seen it a million times. these people who's loaded financially. I knew this one guy, he made like 500 million in a year. And when I would talk to him, he was just always he was so down, man. And I'm looking at him like, you got everything. But he was a revelation to me that that's not everything. That's not everything. What would it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? That right there is big. Big, big, big. Anybody else want to jump in? Anybody else got want to get up here? And now, Amanda, you said you were coming, so we've been waiting for you. Edwidge, welcome and glad to have you here. Jump on up in here and share whatever you want to share based on what you heard.
Yeah, just to say in relation to this, you know, the value that you just shared, and you know, it's always a blessing when you can share your outlook, especially with a relative, just as you just did with your granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a part of we reflecting the type of wealth within our own communities,
Yes,
whereby.
sir. Now I'm very proud of my granddaughter. I'm very, very proud of my granddaughter. I mean to cut you off. I'm very proud of my granddaughter. Her fortitude, her sense of who she is.
And just to reinforce that aspect by you recognizing it and expressing it to her is an exchange worth far more than any material thing you could ever leave.
Yes, sir.
And I say this to my son that, listen, Josh, yes, I'm doing my best and I'm working and I would like to leave you whatever, but the greatest thing you have in life is interaction with other persons, the interaction you have with self,
mm-hmm.
the relation you have with God, and how you interact with people. That is the last thing. It's not, you have a lot of persons who have money. Are they happy? They're not. So it's really just an alignment. There has to be a balance. Are material things important? They are. But are they more important than expressing to your loved ones, forgiving your loved ones? You know, we're caught in all this distraction, as I indicated earlier, that we don't dwell on. And it's even more important so that we have these conversations that highlight this side of the argument that, yes, we have our grandchildren, we have our sons, and we have our daughters. We are proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
We recognize them. The qualities that they can display before we leave this earth. It's a blessing unto us.
Yes, sir. How old is your son?
Right now he's 15.
That's a good age. It's a good solid age, especially to have a father in your life, you know, putting stuff in you. Yeah, my baby boy is 35 or 36. I think he's 35. He's well, he was a VP at JP Morgan. They just promoted him. I think he's a regional director or something like that. And you know, I'm real proud of that. I say that every chance I get. You know, he went into finance and he knocked it out the park. He went to levels with it that you're welcome, baby girl. She says, thank her grandpa for his words. You welcome. I love you and I'm proud of you. You know, I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of my daughter. She doesn't think that she's accomplished enough yet for me to be proud of her, but I'm very proud of her. I'm watching her become the woman that she's supposed to be. And those moments, that's wealth. To me, that's wealth that you can't buy that. Money can't buy that kind of stuff. Like I said, looking at all the stuff Diddy's doing, so you're very unhappy then. You got all this money, but you live in this life. It's you can't be happy, you know. And you know, it's sad because I knew him. I got, you know, pictures with him and everything when he was a kid, when he came into the industry, and he was just bright-eyed and excited and had so much hope and dream. And you know, they start showing you the way to play these games, and you know, again, you sell your soul, you know, if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So I
you know,
watch.
so that,
yeah, I've seen it a million times. Again, I've been here for a long time. Let me ask, Nelly, did you invite Okay, you get your behind up in here. Or I'm gonna wrap up if you're not coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and just get right on off of here. You're gonna just let
So let
them.
me just raise two more points before I come down. You know, you just say, and it's a cycle whereby you see hurt people,
Mm,
but at the same time, heal people are the ones who have to heal people too.
yeah. Facts.
Yeah, yeah,
Look,
and and
facts.
and 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 reflect and so a lot of my thought process really comes through a number of years in just looking at why people do things, what is the reason, and just what I've learned from doing communication as my degree,
Talk
and
to me.
learning about subliminal messages, and seeing that there's a system at work which we all can identify, but there's a ripple effect in terms of persons subscribing onto themselves
Hmm.
identities that they didn't know that they are in control of. A lot of art. My thing is, our young men. I may not be the one who has made it to reach to them. This concept of vision builders. You know that it's a valuable concept, but at the same time, we have what 13, 14 persons in here. But you scroll a little more on the app, and you see content creators with 4,000 persons viewing them. What are they doing? Hands in the hair. What are they doing? Cursing out each other, bringing down each other to the lowest of the lowest, and that is what is getting gifts.
But you keep going back to this
and
negative stuff.
entertainment
Hold on, stop. Because you keep going back to this negative stuff. And I know what they're doing, and I don't care. We don't want to talk about them. And I'm going to tell you why I'm very, very.
No.
Wait.
No.
Excuse me. Okay, hold on. This is my live. So when I talk, you have to give me the floor. Agree or disagree. This is my live.
I agree.
Now, here's why I say that. We know what they're doing. But from my experience and from what I've seen through life, here's what I've seen. That stuff is short-lived. They may have 4,000 people in the room and at the door, but they don't last long. The people that I've watched that build like this consistently and slow, when they become established, they stay established for 20, 30, 40 years. And the people that do it like they're doing it, I've seen them. I've looked at them. And you know what? They got noise. They got stuff going on in the room. And 90% of them are not monetized. They're not even making money. They're just doing this stupidity. So we don't need to talk about them. Here's what we're doing. What you're talking about. If you have this dream of nation building, I've seen this a lot of times. And especially as you get older, it gets worse sometimes. We can get so focused on the wrong. Now, how do you do right when you're always focused on the wrong? How do you drive a car looking in the rearview mirror? You cannot. So I share this story with you, and I hope that it's helpful. Something I learned a long time ago is a true story. There was this woman who was a counterfeit expert. She could spot a counterfeit. I mean, they tried all kinds of things to test her and trick her to see if they could get past on her and bring currency to her. Fake. They used the real paper, but the wrong ink. Fake. They used the right ink, but the wrong paper. Put it in front of her. Fake. Immediately, she could spot a counterfeit. So they came to her one day and they interviewed her. They sat down with her. And he said, how are you so good at identifying counterfeits as quick as you do? You must study counterfeits. Like you must have studied every kind of counterfeit bill there is for you to be able to identify counterfeits like that. And she said, that's absolutely wrong. Wrong. She said, I never look at a counterfeit bill. I never looked at a counterfeit bill or studied a counterfeit bill in my life. I study so much time studying the real thing that when that which is fake is put in front of me, I know it right away. So there's times and we can get so caught up in what people are doing that's wrong and the wrong way and this and that and the other, and that's your focus, that's what you're going to draw to you. I focus on the light. I don't want to talk about what everybody's doing on their stuff that's messed up. I've seen it, but I know where I'm going and I know where I'm leading the people, and that is to focus on who you see yourself to be. That's why the question spoke to me. If you could see yourself 50 years from now, what would you be doing then that you're not doing now? Well, I don't want to focus on what you're doing wrong. Now we're saying, well, this is what I would be doing. Now let's start doing that. Let's start focusing on that. So I would, if I would give you a caution, I would say, don't get so caught up on trying to build your stuff on what everybody else is doing wrong. It has no legs to it. It won't last long. It's like building in quicksand. You build on truth. You build on the word. You build on the rock, as Jesus said. You can't focus on all this negativity because it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So I don't care about it. And at this point in my life, I don't even like to talk about it. I'm trying to figure who it was said. He didn't even have a coarse word to the devil. He just said, "Get thee behind me." Like he didn't even want to argue with him. Just Satan, get thee behind me. Again, I'm ahead of that. I don't.
I think one of the disciples.
Yeah.
Said it to him.
Right. I don't even want to talk about what he said. Some of it's a shame to even speak it and mention in the light that stuff. I don't even want to talk about all that.
Yeah.
Where we going?
Well, I'm definitely with you on the points you're making, and if it seems as if I was also making reference to highlight a point when you just indicated that it seems, I don't want it to seem as if I'm dwelling on the negative. I'm just highlighting that in order for this message
now listen,
to reach a particular
I'm cutting you off
audience.
again, but listen again to what I'm saying to you. Here's what you said. I'm highlighting it. What is the definition of highlighting something? Focus on it, right? Focus, make it stand out. You take a highlighter in the paper, yellow, and you put it through it. You want that sentence to stand out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we really want to do that?
So the point I'm making is the context I'm creating. So that's the only reason why mention was made.
I get it, and I understand. But I'm trying to present to you a different approach. I'm not trying to beat you over the head. I'm trying to present a different approach. If I've helped do construction projects, and we have to build the foundation. And when people bring in the cinder blocks, which is usually what the foundation is made of, and the truck turns over and dumps them out, some of the cinder blocks get cracked, they get broken. So you know what we immediately do? We go over and we start to separate the good blocks from the bad blocks. The bad blocks, we scoop them up and they go in the garbage. We're not going to sit there and examine, this is the kind of block you don't build on. We don't even focus on it. We take the good blocks and we toss the bad blocks out. The bad blocks is not the part of the conversation. Edward is coming in. Not about a part of the conversation. Oh, she came. Here she comes. Not a part of the conversation. It's not a part of the equation. It has nothing to do with it. So even though I understand the approach, and please understand, that's a common.
That he actually sent to the hospital.
Somebody.
He went into hospital too, but apparently.
Ari, put your mic. Okay, there you go. She was just talking away. Okay, so listen. So I hear what you're saying, but in the wealth circles, we call that subtraction management. Building something off of the negative is a subtraction management. And so we say, let's not come in and focus on what everybody's doing wrong, but let's focus on what everybody's doing right and how to make that better. And there's a saying that I have in the book I've come out. Now I come up with, God has blessed me with one-liners and saying, on the road to doing right, that which is wrong will correct itself. So I'm very intentional about where's my focus. I don't want to stand there and put all this emphasis, or as you said, highlight negativity. It doesn't lend itself to the conversation well, from my perspective and from the way that I've learned to work. So I hope you can, receive that and do something with it. I hope it's helpful. Edwidge, what's on your mind, baby?
Hey, Mr. Brown. I'm just coming in really. What's the topic tonight?
Well, we have some topics. So here's what I'm gonna do.
Topics.
Yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let Eri say what she needs to say, then I'm gonna come back to you with the topics because she was
All
here
right.
for a minute. So we're gonna
Got it.
mute you for a minute. Come on, granddaughter. What you gotta say? She on here. Come on, unmute yourself. Come on. Okay, so while we're waiting for her to figure it out, what we were talking about was we showed this video of this young lady who built a $300 million company with her comrades at 21 years old. And they asked her the keys to success. And she said she doesn't believe in working hard to get to the top, that you lay yourself up your ladder. Her example was you lay your, very a lot of wisdom for such a young girl. You put your ladder up against a tree, only you get to the top of the ladder to find out that there's a tree that's much bigger. So she said she doesn't believe in, just focusing and driving yourself like that. The other point she made, which we were talking about, if you could look into the future and see yourself 50 years from now, 20 years from now, and you were successful or whatever, what would you be doing today that, or not doing today, that you would be doing then? And she didn't say it, but the point we brought home was, what she's saying is, look at who you see yourself to be. Ask yourself, what would you not do, or what would you be doing right then, and start doing that now. So, we brought up, would you keep certain company? Would you have certain kind of conversations? Would you surround yourself with certain people? Would you focus on, it's a lot of stuff. So a lot of people got on and began to explain, what they would love to be doing then. And then the question was, so how do we now translate that to you doing it now, right? How do you get there? How do you start doing that right now in the place you're in? And the other one was doing something different that goes against the grain. That was the other point. She's like, if everybody's learning Spanish, she's going to learn Chinese. So that was the conversation. That was the points at hand.
Nice. Wow. That is a lot of wisdom, and it's good. I like the one where you said, looking at yourself 20 years, maybe 30 years from now. Oh man, wow. Who would I be then, and what would I do to prepare to be that, or who do I need to become?
A little bit different. You're close. You're on it, but not who do you need to become. She's saying, what would you be doing then? That's different than what you're doing now. So basically, she's like saying, what about becoming? If that's what you would be doing then or not doing then, stop doing that now, was the point I took from it.
Oh, see? I always love your perspective. That's the thing. No, that's good. What would I be doing now? Okay.
Or Abby said she didn't mean the request. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I thought you was gonna come and give us some young wisdom. So when you 21 years old, you could have a $300 million company. I thought you was about to enlighten us, but okay.
Well, Mr. Brown, you've talked to us, spoken to us so much about incorporating. I actually have recently done that, and I'm looking at. Thank you. I know you'd be excited. There's a lot of paperwork and things, a few things. I just have to get the EIN number, but I would say, as I'm thinking about that,
that take less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just call. You can do it online or call them on the phone. They'll do it right there on the spot. It don't cost nothing. It's free.
Oh, well, okay, then I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exciting because you've been talking to us about it, and I'm like, this is new territory, but I believe it's great because it's setting me up for all the other things that I want to do. And so when I think about 20 years from now, you know, what I'm doing now, and I know this is not exactly what you said, but what would I be doing? No, okay. You know what? Explain it to me again, please, because
Well,
I really want to
I broke it down to make it simpler. What would you not be doing? Let's keep it simpler. What would you not be doing if you were today that person you're going to be in 20 years? What would you not be doing right now?
Yeah. Okay. For sure, the time sucks that you talk about. I've been hearing people talking about that more, like, oh, I'm watching this Netflix. I'm like, I don't even have time to do that. I just don't. I'm focused on things that I want to do. So I will not be doing that. And I don't think I'll be investing in that unless it's something that I can learn from. Because I realized time, man, at 43 years of age, and I know you're older than me, Mr. Brown,
God bless your heart.
I know you will agree, right? That time, but you don't look at that part.
Well, because
really
watch this, and I mean to cut you off, but watch this. I'm gonna tell you why I don't look it. Why I don't look 67. Because you remember when I looked older.
Yeah, I do.
I removed all of the negative energy that I could, and then what I couldn't, I gave to God to remove.
Oh,
bars.
That's good. No, it's good. That's so good.
I don't want that negativity.
Yeah,
I just don't want it. I just, you know, when people want to have it, it's just like, okay, well, you may have got a little bit on me for a minute, but you ain't gonna see me again. I literally just kind of separated myself from everything and everyone that insisted on being that.
Negative. Yeah. That's so real. That's so real. Like what you allow around you, really. Yeah, you taught us this.
It's
well.
seed.
You know what you allow around, right?
It's seed.
Yeah.
And we don't see it.
Oh, that's good.
Think about this. I'm taking you off on another journey, and I'm sorry, but it's a good journey.
No, I'm following. I follow. Go. Let's go.
Do we understand, really, really understand? Let there be light. Let us make earth.
Oh.
Let the firmament of the air be this, and let the water come this far. Let us make man. Do we really understand those statements that the world that we live in and operate on doesn't function on gravity and air and sustenance and food? It was created with a word, a spoken word. Even our existence is the result of speech. Catch that. Even our very existence is the result of speech. That's why scripture says in Psalm 23, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who indulge it will eat the fruit therein. What you speak, people now are talking about vibrations, negative energy. Yeah, but though, where does that vibration and that negative energy come from? Spoken word. That's the sound is vibration. If there was no air in the room, I spoke, you wouldn't hear anything. It bounces off the air. It's vibration. It's the original vibration. Spoken word. So I tell people all the time, I'm really learning who. Sometimes I'll put a word out and I'll catch it. I say, no. I'm going to grab you and destroy you before you get in the soil of this atmosphere, because it's like that, and then begin to create life, because that word is a seed. So I'm very funny about, in this stage of life, So when people talk about let's go back to the question, which is where you were with me. What would you change? Well, I would change a lot of what I'm saying right now. And nobody said that. I was looking for that. But first thing I would do is I would change a lot of what I'm saying. I would change a lot of what I'm speaking. Think about that. I would change a lot of my conversation. I would change a lot of who I speak to. Because once you get to that,
that's the one.
Once you get to that level, with certain people, you ain't even hanging with them no more. You're not talking to these people. Once you get there, you're not talking to these people. Listen, you have a business. Well, I can't really afford that. I mean, can you come down a little bit? Your price a little high. When you get to that level, are you talking to that person?
No.
So why are we talking to them now?
Boom. Oh. Okay. This is what vision builders. Yes, I got it.
So why am I talking to you now?
Yep.
That means you don't belong. No, but for right now, I got to do what I got to do. Okay, well, then you're going to be doing what you got to do for the next 30 years. Take it from somebody who knows. When you start doing what you got to do just to get by, 30 years going to go by, you're going to be still doing what you got to do. Is when I broke that. And I was like, no more of that. Nah, no more of that. Who's that? Is that Esther in the room? Hey, Esther.
Wow.
So, yeah, words of vibration, man. They create. That's the ultimate seed. Oh, TJ in the room. Oh, everybody running in the room right now. You'll like this part of the conversation.
Come on in. It's good.
You popped in and popped out. Go ahead, Esther. Hey.
Sorry, I actually did not mean to get in the room, but I'm glad I'm in the room anyway. Now, this is good talk. Like, what you're saying about changing the words that we speak, the words that I speak. I need to really start. Well, yeah, I need to get back on that, making sure that what I'm speaking is what I actually want, and also
say that
paying
again.
attention to who's around me, making sure that what I speak is what I actually want.
Speak.
Yeah, and then
Speak.
Yeah, and paying attention to who's around me, because sometimes I'm just around people, but not realizing that. I remember you said something a long time ago. Somebody's always ministering to somebody. Whether it's me ministering good things or somebody else ministering, or negative things. But yeah, somebody's always ministering to somebody, and I need to make sure that I'm to really be aware. Continuing to be aware of it. But yeah, no, this is good talk. Good talk.
So
I'm gonna change how I speak.
That's good. Thank you for that. Let me tell you, we go roller skating all the time. So we went roller skating Sunday, and we got a little group of people we hang with. Now Nelly is starting to go, I don't want to be around these people. And I'm like, well, I understand why you don't want to be around them in terms of growth and whatever, but I feel like some of these people are my audience. I'm there to, if nobody ever sees the light, they don't know. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. And don't forget the heart meets up there. They're free. Up there right near Vision Builders, by your name. Get that heart up there, too. It builds you and me. And see, Talima, I'm doing a good job. I'm trying to remember it. And tap that screen. We're up to 80,000. There you go. That's the kind of numbers we like. So after we skating, we're hanging out, and I'm talking to one gentleman, and every time I talk to him, he starts going into women today, blah, 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 blah. He's a younger guy. He starts going to women today, and women ain't S, and and my baby mama, and my kids, and And I'm always trying to give them a positive thing. I felt that way, when I went through something, but you come past it. And just this Sunday, it just hit me like, okay, this is a choice. That's what hit me. What he's talking about and where he is and how he feels about it, it's a choice. Listen what I'm about to say, Edwards. You're going to love this. Well, all of you are going to love this. He made it, and I'm saying you're going to love it because you're a therapist, so you got to talk to people. He made an emotional connection to that pain, to that frustration. He's bonded with it. He's intimate. That thing is his lover. You know how when you meet somebody and you fall in love with them, you just want to talk about them all the time? This is all he wants to talk about. He wants to talk about how no good she was, how bad she treated him, and you got to watch yourself. And I'm sitting right there with my Nelly, who he is saying, oh, no, see, well, you got lucky. But, okay, wait, so you just said they don't exist, and then you just pointed to mine and said, oh, they do exist, but you got lucky. You love your space. You have an intimate relationship with this pain or this frustration or this anguish or this hurt, and you are not trying to let this thing go. We're now at a place where I have to cease communication with you because you don't want out. You just want me to keep trying to talk you out, but you don't want out. And that's a vibration right there. That's a tone. That's a vibration that he's found. Listen to what I'm saying. He found that vibration. He's good in that vibration. He loves that vibration. He will say he hates it, but every time he gets a chance to talk about it, he talks about it. People will talk about what they love. You don't have to beg them to. They will. And sometimes if we're not careful, I've done it. Especially after my divorce, all I talked about every chance I get was about how wrong I was done and how I One day God made me hear myself. And he said, you're in a vibration right now. And I can't take you any further in life until you forgive her and you break out of that vibration. You're stuck there in that tone. You like the echo. When you say it, it comes back and hits you. Ooh, I'm going places right now, people, so just bear with me. You speak these words in the atmosphere and they come back and they hit you a certain way. Ooh, that feels good. Makes me feel bad, but doggone it, it feels good. Let me just throw it back out there. Ooh, you think I'm making this up? Didn't the Lord say, when you go to a person's house, speak peace. If your peace return to you, shake the dust off your feet and get out of there. Vibrations. The peace didn't feel good in the house, it came back. You spoke in and it came back to you. The peace is saying to you, I don't want to be in there. But you're going to go in there anyway. Well, maybe I can help them. No, I'm not going nowhere near there. You found your space. You found your place. And you're happy there. And you're comfortable there. And who am I to try to take you out of the world that you've fallen in love in? I land my plane right there. But you hear what I'm saying today?
Yes.
Yeah, Amanda said so good. Thank you, Amanda. Go ahead.
And Ari said, mommy makes me take words out the air all the time.
Yep.
And she said, I'm very big on the power of your words, Talima. And you watched your dad when he took them words out. It's like, I don't want to keep doing that. And you saw the change. You all came to me and said, you're different. You look younger. You're glowing. All these little phrases people say is like, yeah, because I've moved myself to a different vibration. I've moved myself to a place that the energy around me is different. It's different. So even as a therapist, which you have to sit there and listen, but you have to listen, not absorb. You have to let it be their vibration. You have to be vibrating above them. Let them vibrate here. Now, if they want to come up to there, no, I got to come read. No. You stay here. You keep showing them the pure and see if they want to come up to this level or not. And they'll stay down here and they'll just keep paying you to stay down here. Until they have enough. It's so real. So real. So yeah, I see granddaughter hasn't dropped. She said she didn't want to come on, but she hasn't dropped. You don't know how to drop yourself, baby? Because you still could come on if you want. I mean, it's here for you if you want it. But if not, if you want Nelly to drop you, ask her and she'll pop you out. Anybody have a question or comment? I see a lot of yeses and stuff, but let's bring it on home. Boy, this one went on long, but this was a good one. This was a real good one. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys are. Let's bring it on home. Anybody got some closing statements? Anybody want to put something else in the chat? Let's do it. Let's bring it home. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brother Dread, for coming. Please come again. Let's keep this strong, positive conversation going. This is it. This is where we are right now. We're doing it.
Yes, yeah. And from its the place on which that it's truthful and it's good intent. You just have to put it out there. There's definitely power in words. I can attest to that.
Yes, sir.
Faith. Believing those things which are unseen puts a smile, puts a joy.
Mm-hmm.
A relationship with God. Yeah, each have to have it for themselves.
Yes,
so,
sir.
As I leave with all, I just encourage all to just do your best and just live in a truthful manner. Not for what other persons might say, but within your heart, when you lie down within your thought, how you think of yourself and how you think of your loved ones, and just give your best.
Right.
Until another time, guys. Walk over. Goodbye.
My brother, thank you. Anybody, Miss Edwidge Michelle, you want to say anything, Esther, before you go? Hello.
I put it in the chat, but watching my words and speaking, that, as you said, everything was created by the spoken word. And that was my biggest takeaway for tonight. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
What about you, Miss Antoine?
Yeah, this is very good. I am going to watch what I say. Same. Be intentional with what I say, and start planning ahead. For you mentioned that the lead said, "Where do we see ourselves in 30 years?" I have homework to do. I'm gonna start planning and thinking about where do I see myself in 30 years, in 5 years, even.
5
and,
years, 10 years, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Speak light, definitely. Thank you so much for this.
It was a pleasure. It was really great. I enjoyed being on here with you guys tonight. I hope that you got something I know that you got something. I'm not even hoping. I know you did. I know it's some good stuff in there. We got a lot of good comments tonight. We got up to 85,000 likes. We have to beat that now. We're gonna have to get up in the 100s and the 200s. But this is awesome. The participation is huge. But it's just the beginning. We're just starting. We're just getting started. Greatness is ours to have, and we're going for it with everything in us. So let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing what we got to do to get where we got to get. I'm ready. You ready? Let's grow. Amanda said something before we go. All good stuff. Thank you. I couldn't make it in. It's okay. You had service issues. It's all right. Just put "let's grow" in the chat and say goodbye. Let's grow.